What's up, my friends? Welcome to the weigh-ins. Ariane, Brittany, Vanessa, and Chrissy. Dana White, without him, none of this would be possible. Joe Silva, best matchmaker on the planet Earth. Bruce Buffer, the voice of the Octagon. Lorenzo Fertitta. Without him, we would not be here. We got a banging card for you, folks. We're going to kick it off in the flyweight division. Live on UFC Fight Pass. Julian Erosa versus Teruto Ishihara. Featherweight division, first on the scale, Teruto Ishihara. 146. And his opponent, Julian Erosa. Fight Pass, ladies and gentlemen, Julian Erosa and Teruto Ishihara. The next fight takes place in the lightweight division. Jason Sago versus Justin Salinas. Justin Salas. And his opponent, Jason Sago. Mr. Sago. Justin Salas and Jason Sago, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight also takes place in the lightweight division. Diego Sanchez Sanchez versus Jim. Versus Chad Skelly.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
The next fight takes place in the middleweight division. Victor Miranda versus Marcelo Guimarães. From Mr. Guimarães and his opponent Victor Miranda. Mr. Miranda. Marcelo Guimaraes and Vitor Miranda, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place in the welterweight division. Eric Silva versus Nordine Taleb. On the scale, Nordine Taleb. $170. And his opponent, Eric Silva. For Mr. Silva. Nordine Taleb and Eric Silva, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight also takes place in the welterweight division. Brandon Thatch versus C.R. Bahadurzada. For Mr. Bahadurzada. And his opponent, Brandon Thatch. From Mr. Thatch. C.R. Bahadurzada and Brandon Thatch, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we move to the main card, live on pay-per-view. We kick things off in the women's bantamweight division. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. Anderson versus Tom Lawler. Heavyweight division, John Valente versus Ilir Latifi. For Mr. Latifi. And his opponent, John Valente. For the challenger. Misha, this has been a long time coming for you to get back in line for a shot at the title. Tomorrow's your big night. Give us your thoughts.
I'm excited. Thank you all so much for being here. Women's MMA rocks. Thank you so much. And it's because of you guys. Seriously, it's because of you guys that I stand here right now, so thank you.
Good luck to you, ma'am. We'll see you tomorrow night. Misha Tate, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with the champ. Holly Holm. Holly, what has this been like? And give us your thoughts on Misha as a challenger for tomorrow night.
A whole new training camp, whole new nerves, a whole new fight, whole new work in progress, you know. November's fight was back in November. I gotta be ready for March 5th, so I'm ready.
Good luck to you, ma'am. See you tomorrow night. The champion, ladies and gentlemen, Holly Holm. Now let's take a closer look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening. Nate Diaz! From Mr. Diaz. And his opponent, the undisputed featherweight champion of the world, McGregor. There's a lot of tension going on here. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Hey, I'm here to kill or be killed in Stockton, California. Fuck this little bitch. Fuck you.
Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm here with the champ, Connor. First of all, give us your thoughts about having a last-minute opponent, being able to fight at 170, and Nate Diaz.
It's another day for me. One pulls out, another one steps in. I'm used to it. I was just giggling at his little soft body. I've never seen a skinny guy. How can a fat guy be so skinny at the same time? It amuses me, but I'm looking forward to go in there, put the martial arts back into the game. Weight should never be an issue. Champions should be able to go up and down and fight any challenge that comes before them. So I'm looking forward to go in tomorrow night fresh and put on a show for the fans, because the fan support, I always step up for the fans.
Can't wait to see it, sir. Good luck to you. Conor McGregor, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much. We will see you tomorrow night.